I am fully prepared to chip a tooth tonight if it means I win $100. In my family, we don't just eat dinner. On New Year's Eve we embark on the ultimate culinary adventure. We hit solid nuts inside 3 of these dumplings. And finding one means instant cash. Let the Hunger Games begin. Hi, I'm Yo-Yo. I live in a smaller city here in China. And today is literally the biggest day of the year. It's Chinese New Year's Eve. Think of it like Christmas Eve back in the States. This is the one holiday that every single Chinese person takes seriously. We have this massive tradition. On New Year's Eve, every household has to deck out their homes with spring couplets, bright red lanterns, and intricate window cutouts. So, this afternoon, the whole family hit the local market to grab our supplies. And let me tell you, the market was absolutely popping off. Pure chaos in the best way possible. Everyone is scrambling to buy their New Year gear. This year is the year of the horse, so we're on a mission to find a little plush horse toy for the baby. Look at her over there. She's already picking one out.
20算了，是吧？
10块钱一段，里面装着2个，那是剪纸的，都是不同的。那个红。
Walking past a pop-up shop, we spotted this gorgeous red lantern. It says "Gang Xi Fei Kai," which basically means wishing you massive wealth. It screams New Year vibes, and it was dirt cheap like $2. The crowds today were insane. People were packed in shoulder to shoulder, completely swarming this tiny shop. And the merch is next level now. They've got 3D ornaments, hanging charms, and spinning LED lanterns. And without fail, every single item has a horse on it.
喂，老板给我吧。
这是那个。
哦，我懂。
让我拿一个那个。
对，哦，那俩还没付账呢，是吧？
你从这儿付账。一个灯笼2张那个纸12块。哎呀，这个是我看是了，对的，2张对吧？对的。
After fighting through the crowds, we finally scored our loot.
你们先回去吧。拜拜，拜拜。
Back at the house, it was time to get to work. First up, the window cutouts. The baby was super hyped about the new ones and immediately tried to crinkle them up. Grandma had to hit her with the ultimate bait and switch, handing her last year's faded cutouts to destroy so we could put the fresh ones up. Crisis averted. Legend says people used to stick these on windows to scare off evil spirits. Now, they're just filled with lucky symbols. When I was a kid, these were hand-cut from flimsy red paper. Now, they're durable plastic and velvet. Major upgrade. Next up, the lantern. You actually have to rig it up with a light bulb yourself. And every year, this sketchy job falls on me. I literally climb halfway out the window to wire it up. But the second you plug it in, boom, instant holiday magic.
刚才我要知道我要。
我给你拿拖鞋了。
哎呀。
The baby has never seen a lit-up lantern before, and her mind was completely blown. Then we have the spring couplets and the giant full character. which means good fortune. We slap these right on the front door. They're basically banners covered in lucky phrases, like good health or get rich. The coolest part, if you read a family's couplets, you can instantly tell what they're manifesting for the new year. Once those red banners are up, the new year vibe is officially locked in. Alright, let's head into the kitchen. It is an absolute war zone in here. My aunt is going to town chopping a mountain of cabbage for tonight's dumpling filling. Up north, eating dumplings on New Year's Eve is basically the law. My uncle is the designated filling master. This year, he's whipping up a 3 fresh mix: shrimp, pork, green onions, and cabbage. It is incredibly rich. The seasoning process is intense. He's boiling Sichuan peppercorns for spiced water and mincing ginger like a pro. Even the cabbage is high maintenance. You have to chop it, blend it, salt it. And literally use all your upper body strength to squeeze it bone dry.
使出全身的劲儿。
多吃人呐！
我顾不上，我得想。
就行了。是吧？放的很亮。
少林。
你看这多酱啊！多次少放。
You whip the pork with the spiced water until it's super bouncy. Fold in the shrimp and veggies, and boom! The filling is ready for action.
到哪儿？
我们睡觉就去喽。反正那个阵儿是把他叫醒，如果要有放陪衬呢，没办那个多。
啊，看个热闹。掰边包饺子。
12点享受，这是不是刘德华呀？这才是我们守岁吃年夜饭。这。
Fast forward to the evening. The whole extended family is gathered around the table, making dumplings. Honestly, this is pure happiness. We're just rolling dough, stuffing wrappers, and catching up. We talk about how much money we made, the cool stuff we did, and what we're manifesting for next year. It's in these loud, messy moments that our family bond gets tighter. But this year, we spiced things up. We turned dinner into a game. We secretly hid 3 solid nuts inside the dumplings, bite into one, and you win cold hard cash, 150 or 30 bucks. Suddenly, everyone is super invested. The suspense is real.
早起我就先摆那个牛肉，上把那月薪10万之后，他请郎旅游去了。他从那边拿几个？故意让他去的吧？
也行。
我得盖布盖了，要盖开了。
可以，咸鱼已经可以了，就纯肉买。咱们替吃就吃普通饺子吧。
来，快点儿，花园。
My mom is on boiling duty.
告你小姨
We've got an
出
awesome
饺子喽
assembly line.
出锅喽
Wrap them here, boil them there, eat them piping hot. Finally, the dumplings hit the table.
来了。多少钱？
不带钱了吗？卖了。
这个看，这是。
摆桌上面就行。
9百。
You gotta dip them in vinegar, and you absolutely must eat them with raw garlic. We have a saying up north, eat noodles without garlic, lose half the flavor. Let's eat. Everyone is low-key stressing, hoping to score a money dumpling.
可以了啊，我可以了，行吧。这是啥呀？这是不是一等奖？哎呀，这就是一等奖，厉害！
And boom, my uncle bites into the first one.
哎呀，这
The
是我
room
姥姥的。
erupts. Everyone is cheering,
Oh.
desperately hunting for the next one. Shortly after, my brother scores, and then my mom hits the jackpot.
哎，三等奖。
The cash is claimed. This little game of theirs took the vibe to a whole new level.
哎，你吃点，你姥姥放筷子了。那儿有一份啊。
这个
赶紧吃。
给我。
那你就看我的抽屉里有没有吧。要不就我摆一个。
After we crush the dumplings, it's time for the pomelo. We eat this fruit every year because the Chinese word for pomelo sounds exactly like the word for to have. It's a hack to manifest abundance. While eating,
好，谢谢。越吃越有，高原越有。今年2等奖，明年是1等奖。好。啊，那我1等奖1等奖。
饺子好吃，你就想我明年一定要首先第一个吃出来。
we've got the Spring Festival Gala blasting on TV. It's the biggest television event in China. Literally every major celebrity performs live. Lately, they've been bringing in crazy new tech, like dancing robots and AI visuals. It's a trip.
这条黄的好肥呀！
是吗？
这样。
Once the gala wraps, it's time for the main event, fireworks. Most cities ban personal fireworks, so the government throws massive shows out in the suburbs. We drove a solid hour into the middle of nowhere to catch it. And guys, it was spectacular. Rumor has it they dropped hundreds of thousands of dollars on this display. Fun fact, gunpowder is one of China's 4 great inventions. And honestly, Chinese people are pretty pissed for gunpowder was originally invented just to make fireworks look pretty, not for fighting wars. But even with all this futuristic tech, nothing replaces the soul of traditional fireworks. For thousands of years, lighting up the sky wasn't just about the spectacle. It was literally meant to scare off evil spirits like the mythical beast Yan and blast away bad luck to make room for the new year. We went from throwing raw bamboo into fires centuries ago to engineering these massive, choreographed explosions. Today, things are shifting again. To protect the environment, many cities have strict bans on traditional fireworks, replacing them with eco-friendly alternatives or those cyberpunk drone shows. It's this wild mix of ancient tradition meeting modern reality. But honestly, standing here, watching the sky light up right after a hot plate of dumplings, the feeling is exactly the same. It just feels like magic. After the fireworks, they hit us with a massive drone show. The tech has evolved so fast here. It's insane. On the drive back, we stopped for gas. Usually, highways have tolls, but during the Spring Festival, they're completely free. Everyone takes advantage of it for road trips. Looking out the window, I realized almost all the cars on the road are domestic Chinese brands. With the massive boom in EVs, the auto industry here has exploded. Back in 2010, almost every car was a foreign brand. Times have definitely changed. We spent the next hour dropping family members off. Finally, I made it back to my apartment. What a day. Slapping out couplets, stuffing dumplings, chasing fireworks. Over a dozen of us converged, hung out, and scattered back to our own lives. After all that chaos, my place is dead quiet. But that warm feeling is still lingering. This was an absolutely unforgettable day. This is Chinese New Year's Eve. It's just like Christmas in the West, the one day dedicated to family reunion. But the vibe is totally different. On Christmas, you gather around the tree and rip open presents. On New Year's Eve, we gather around the table and stuff dumplings. On Christmas, kids wait for Santa. On New Year's Eve, kids wait to bite into a money dumpling and collect thick red envelopes full of cash. But at the end of the day, the core is exactly the same: family. It doesn't matter if you had a great year or a terrible year. On this day, you have to go home. You sit at that table, eat those dumplings, and watch those fireworks. Not because the food is magical, but because of the people. Your parents, your uncle, your aunt, they are all waiting for you. It is the single most important ritual we have all year. What about you guys? What's the biggest holiday where you live? And how do you celebrate it? Drop a comment down below.
Bye bye.
I'm Yo-Yo, and I'll catch you in the next one.
注意，前方有违章摄像。